Hello, welcome to my channel. You're on the Swivel at the Sportsbar. We're going to get started soon. Welcome aboard. This is the 18th episode of season 1, and we're going to talk a few things. We got, some basketball, football talk, a little bit about the NCAAs. I got a couple of surprises and a couple other things that we could talk about, a couple of videos to watch. And, I'm just carrying on like I always do, What's going on, Andre? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, Rich?
All right, man. Welcome aboard, man. We are just getting started. I mean, I have Vic up here. I don't know what happened to him. Oh. He was up here for a hot second. I would imagine he might show back up. Okay. I don't know whether his equipment went down, but we're gonna get started with the show a little bit. Like I was saying, I got a few things here. I always try to find a few off the beaten path things to talk about when we do this thing, but I always start with football, of course.
Right.
So NFL. And of course, did you see any of those UFL games?
No, I didn't. I was planning on watching one of them, but I don't know what happened. But no, I didn't catch it though. No.
No, I didn't catch him. I didn't catch him at all. But we're gonna start with that because the season started on.
Okay.
I didn't catch him either, man. But I never really. What's up?
No, nothing. I was happy because I thought the way you asked the question, I thought you probably watched one of them.
No, man. You know what, man? I never listen. I'm just kind of intrigued how they merged two leagues together, and they had the 4 games. They had the champion of the last year and this year they played, and that game was the first game I imagine. And so when they set up the daggone conferences, one was the XFL conference, the other one is the USFL conference, and they're playing in one league under the UFL. But so you can see this chart that's up there.
Right.
They got the 8 teams. The Birmingham Stallions beat the Arlington Renegades, and they have some highlights. So I was going to hit some of the highlights.
Yeah. And
just play this little video. Fair use. I always got to say fair use in the beginning. I don't know, my man. I mean, because we're using other people's content, so you got to kind of say, I mean, whether it makes it, they got like little disclaimers you could put on, but if it's on YouTube, they're pretty much lenient that you could use other content creators' stuff, as long as you don't claim it as your own. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, I don't know what happened to my man. Anyway, okay, so let's get started.
Do you have any idea the impact of what you've done for us fat guys everywhere?
Welcome to the real winners and losers from week 1 of the UFL, the first ever games for the newly formed league, which of course is a mashup of the XFL and the USFL. The greatest collab of former rivals since Tupac and Biggie reunited in heaven. And then we know Biggie was just trying to get away from Diddy. The UFL drew an average of 11,000 fans across their 4 week 1 games, which is about 7,000 more fans than the Oakland A's had on Sunday. The inaugural weekend had everything: an insane last-second win on a record-setting play, a big upset, and of course the Block 5 plays. Even The Rock has invested in the Block 5. What's the Block 5? It's my favorite place. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. It's always fucking Block. Block 5. You just can't teach this. The first dicterception in UFL history by Quintarian Cole. I guarantee that's the only time that sentence has ever been uttered. Block 4, winner for best cinematography, UFL cameraman. If you're not in danger of getting knocked out on the sideline, if you're not away, you're never going to get a great shot. Also, good job by number 29, AJ Hindi. I always judge a player by their level of concern when they accidentally knock a cameraman out. Blop 3, Chase Garbers wanted his Easter dinner.
I got dinner at 8:30 to get this game over.
And sure enough, they got that game over with and came out on top. On a separate note, if I had to wait until 8:30 to eat dinner on Easter Sunday, I would be more pissed off than Judas. And I'd do worse things than he ever did. Blop 2, the Super Challenge. What's a Super Challenge, you ask? Is it working for David Tepper? Trying to maintain perfect eye contact with Sydney Sweeney as soon as your wife looks the other way? As a team has timeout, the head coach can challenge any officiating decision on the field. And Mike Nolan used his Super Challenge to see whether Battlehawks offensive linemen had flinched before the snap.
He is challenged at 74, flinched. Gonzalez flinched, which he did. But we had actually looked at that already. He actually flinched after the clock hit 0-0. So the period was over at that point, so there's no foul. So he loses his challenge.
Making him the first coach to use and lose a Super Challenge. Blop 1, the Roughnecks fought back into the game after getting dominated in the first half. They held Memphis to a 55-yard field goal attempt with 2:06 on the clock. The Boats doinked the kick, but Houston jumped off sides, handing the Boats a first down on that 4th and 3. But wait, there's more, because the next defense held true after that, forcing a punt, only to muff the punt, lose the ball, and ultimately the game. That's why I'm giving the Roughnecks Special Teams Unit the Losing Unit Award. Lumped into that is also the rushing attack for both of these teams. Quarterback Jarrett Garantano was the next leading rusher with 22 yards. They totaled just 43. The Showboats had even fewer rushing yards with 34, but luckily had Case Cookus moving the ball for them with his arm. He was also their leading rusher with 16 yards. Cookus netted 201 passing yards in his UFL debut victory. Vinny Papale made one of the best catches you'll ever see, but I'll get to that in a bit. My winning...
All right, so we got an earful of the UFL. So we got the debut, so we know what's going on. What's next?
Yeah. I was going to check one out, and I guess I don't know what happened. I guess I just got caught up watching something else. But I was planning on watching one of them.
Nah, man. Well, I thought it was I just wanted to make sure we cover it.
Yeah.
And so I was just talking to Vic. I don't know what happened to him. Anyway, so listen, man. So the NFL changed the kickoff rule. I think that's one of the biggest rule changes in the NFL going into the next year. Mm-hmm. So what I want to do is kind of just play what the hell, what the rule entails.
Okay.
And it's not that long, so I'm gonna just go ahead and let them tell it. Because it's kind of crazy, convoluted.
Right.
Here's everything you need to know about the NFL's new kickoff. It's going to look a lot like the XFL's. The kicker's going to be at the 35, and the kickoff team is going to start at the other 40-yard line, only 5 yards away from the blocker. These guys won't be able to move until the ball is touched by the returner. Now, the end zone to the 20-yard line will be known as the landing zone, and this is where the returner returns will set up. If the ball is caught in this zone, it must be returned. There are no more fair catches.
See, now that's interesting.
Returns. The return rate last year was only 22%. So to incentivize that, touchbacks are much harsher to the kicking team. So let's break that down. If the kick doesn't reach the landing zone, the ball's placed at the 40-yard line. If it goes out of the end zone or flies into the end zone and is down, like a normal touchback, the ball will be placed at the 35. If it hits in the landing zone and then rolls into the end zone and is down, the ball will be placed at the 20. But again, this is all to incentivize them kicking it into the landing zone. If it's caught in the landing zone, it must be returned. Now, what about onside kicks? Well, the actual kick will look the exact same. The only difference is the team has to declare it to the referee, who will then notify the receiving team, which means there's no more surprise onside kicks.
Wait, does that make any sense? Does that really make any sense that if I'm gonna have an onside kick, I gotta let you know I'm gonna do it?
I know.
I mean, how does that make any sense? That shit don't make no sense at all. Yeah. It's just crazy. I mean, listen, I think one of the most compelling aspects of the kick rule is that if it falls in bounds between the 20 and the end zone, you got to run it back.
Yeah.
But I thought the whole deal for changing the rules was so they won't have any contact whatsoever. So if they're making you run it back, that makes sense. You know, that puts some excitement. But nobody's going to kick this shit that short. They don't never kick it that. They always kick it in the end zone.
Yeah, I think for the most part, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how many times do we see them kick it short on a kickoff? A punt, maybe, but a kickoff is usually in the end zone. You know, so I think I think it's gonna be quite interesting to see how it plays out. But the onside kick rule sounds really stupid to me, and it sounds like they don't want you to do any onside kicks. Because if you can't have any kind of element surprise, then you know it's a low percentage play anyway. So I can't see how it could be any lower.
The only time it's not surprised when when we know that the team needs to get the ball back. You know. Right.
So I mean that doesn't make any sense to me, but it's the NFL. You know, so okay, so listen. Now the reason why I bring a lot of this stuff up now is because we know that free agency plays a big part before who's going to draft who, and so when they sign new players, the free agent players go from place to place. You know, the key is that's going to impact the draft because if I get a quarterback per se or something like that. Let me stop sharing for a second. I'm gonna share this new thing for a second. So bear with me. I mean, it's gonna play a part in what my draft is gonna look like. At least that's the way I see it.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I found this site that has all the free agents that are being signed. You know, is that you or is that me?
Yes, me. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. Anyway, so listen. So in the AFC East, here's the big signings, right? They signed another quarterback, Mitch Trubisky. So he's still in the league. I didn't know he's still around. So he's going to be, backing up $5 million. He's backing up their head honcho, so he's going to make some money just sitting on the bench. I'm looking at some big names. If I can, any of them jump out at me. Daquan Jones. Not really. This is in the AFC East.
Mm-hmm.
So they got, people moving around. So they're signing some new guys. Right. All right. So the top of the list here. Oh, right. Raheem Mostert signed a new 2-year deal worth $9 million. So he's still on Miami. That's good. So they gave him a little bit more money to stay there because he's a good running back, by the way, Mostert.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah. Hey,
you can see this.
Your boys in the background want to get on.
All right, so that's cool. Yeah. All right, I got you. What's going on? What's happening, man? Hey, Trey. Listen, we're going over some of the free agency stuff, man.
Yeah. Did you see the big deal today?
I think I know what you're talking about. What you mean, Diggs?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a loss. That's a loss. They didn't even, that was so new. It's not even on this chart because I'm going through this new signing. And they didn't mention it here, but maybe they'll mention it when I get this. I'm going through the AFC East, some signings where New England, Kobe Brissett. Oh man, you know what? He might end up starting there. By the way, as crazy as it sounds, he might end up taking a starting spot while they make the rookie they draft get ready to play. He's a good journeyman, man. So he's made a career out of being a journeyman quarterback. You guys can see this chart, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little small.
Yes, yeah. It's
a little small.
Yes, yeah, but it's all right. I mean, I can
No, man. Well,
That's good.
we could do something.
That's better. Yeah.
Yeah, we could do something about that. Anyway, Tyrod Taylor's another guy, right? The chances of him not, he's going to be challenging for the starting spot. What do you think, Trey? Right?
With who? The Jets?
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers can play, he's starting.
No. Okay. Yeah, I forgot that Rodgers is the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he could play, but man, Tyrod Taylor's just gonna be behind his head. But he ain't playing. If Rodgers is ready to go, he ain't playing. I can think that. That's a lot of money for sitting on the bench.
Yeah, no, I'll take it.
Yeah, man, that's a nice little piece of. You know why they paying him so much? Because they don't know if Rodgers is going to wig out on some kind of, conspiracy theory that he's like, going to space with Elon Musk or some shit like that. So they paid him all that money. You say, listen, man, we don't know if Rodgers is going to be, have his 2 feet on the ground, man. He might be going crazy. So we'll give you $18 million just to back him up. AFC North, Ravens. Quarterback Josh Johnson, they needed to sign him because, anything happens to my man, he's the same kind of quarterback, a little lesser skill, but, he can fill in and they don't have to change the offense. Derrick Henry, man, the Ravens could be good, man. They could they could really be good. Did they get another receiver? Aguilar. Huh. Yeah, he was there last year, but I don't remember him. He must have been hurt or something.
I think Odell Beckham signed with somebody already too.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll get to that. Listen, you know what? The Cincinnati finally traded or let him go on free agency. My man who slapped the chick, Mixon. Okay, you know about Mixon, right, Trey Ferg?
Yeah, I know about him.
Listen, man, I'll tell you what. I know.
They gonna miss him.
Well, I was going to say the same thing. I was going to say this. Mixon has been consistent every year he's been in the league.
Mm-hmm.
He's been a better than average quarterback. They're going to miss him, man. Unless this guy they got, who they're replacing him with for cheaper, they're going to miss Mixon, man, especially down at the goal line. Okay. Cleveland, Huntley, whatever.
Was he the guy with Baltimore?
Yes, I believe so. But okay, so who's starting there? You got Jameis Winston, which I'm not that high. I mean, listen, this is like Jameson Winston's swan song. If he don't make it here, man, he's going to be out the league.
I think he's going to be okay because I don't know if people really know that Jameis Winston was colorblind.
Okay.
He got it corrected. He was colorblind. So you're going to throw it yourself. You don't know the distinguish the jersey, the colors. Hey, I'm like, this nigga was colorblind. He was colorblind. That's wild.
Okay. I heard that. I know he had to get glasses, but the uniform shapes, the helmets and the designs were different.
I'm paying when that shit 20 yards down the field. You can't tell the difference in those colors. You're colorblind now.
Oh, man.
Flash in 2 seconds. Like, what the hell?
Okay.
How come he was successful in college then?
Different schemes. Player get open in his class. He was colorblind. It is what it is. I do think Cleveland upgraded a great deal. I think they upgraded a great deal. They got a good running back.
I'm hoping the best for the brother, man. I really am, because he has the skills to be a really good quarterback. So his head's just got to be on right. That's all. So what do you think about? Okay, they got Jerry Jeudy acquired.
It's a good pick.
That's a good pick.
Yeah, it's a good pick. They still have what's his name? What's the
I know who
receiver?
you're talking about. I can't remember his name. I do know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's still a
The
good
guy
receiver.
that guy is a pretty good receiver, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, why can't I remember his name? Anyway, yeah, I haven't heard anything, so I assume he's still on the Browns. All right. Okay, so we got Pittsburgh. Kyle Allen. I don't know him. Justin Fields, Russell. They got 3 quarterbacks. They're not going to keep all 3 of them.
Yeah, they're gonna keep all 3 of them.
Okay, where did you hear that at? Where did you hear that at?
They always, Pittsburgh is one of the few teams that you typically keep 3. And most teams are going into the 3 quarterback because remember when who was that? I think San Francisco, everybody was hurt. They had no quarterback. So teams are sort of lingering on that 3 quarterback. Now you may not dress out, but you'll be on the roster.
You'll be on the roster. So listen, the coach already came out and said Russell Wilson's gonna start unless he loses that spot. Which it makes sense to me. You bring Russell in, Justin Fields can get a little bit more seasoning because he's still young. We saw him improve. Go ahead, Andre. You got something to say on that?
No. You said he said Russell Wilson was going to start unless he loses the spot.
No, what I'm saying is there's not going to be a competition. That's what I mean. They're not going to compete for the spot.
I guess. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I know it sounds crazy. Usually they say when 2 guys come in, they compete for the starting shot. So he already said Russell's going to get the helm, and if he stinks up the joint, then they'll bring the other guy in. So I don't know what kind of leash he's going to be on, but that's Russell Wilson. He's going to have a pretty decent leash.
Yeah. Okay.
You know.
All right.
At least that's my opinion. I don't know what you think about that, Trey Ferg. I don't know if he's still
Russell Wilson really wasn't bad last year. He just made earned plays, and the coach didn't like it. The coach didn't have it out for him as soon as he came in.
The coach hated his gut, man. The coach treated him like we do on YouTube. Yes. The coach was listening to YouTube, so he hated him, man. You married Sierra, we hate you and shit.
It's on the Diggs trade. It's on there.
Say what?
I said the Stephon Diggs trade. It's already on this list.
Oh, there it is, right there.
Yeah.
Man, Mixon is on Houston. Oh, yeah. Man.
See, they upgraded too, though.
Woo. Diggs, yes. And their quarterback, man, had a great rookie year, man.
Yes.
So, I expect Houston to be better this year going in. Okay, Flacco.
Flacco's still hanging on, ain't he?
Hey, listen, man, you know what? He's like a puncher, man, who can still knock you out at 90 years old. This guy can still throw the ball down the field.
Yeah.
He can still sling that ball, man. Pittman. So now all of these things, man, impact what the draft is going to look like. That's why I'm going through it. Because a lot of the stuff, Mac Jones, okay, so we know where he's at.
But I thought the Mac Jones trade. I don't know, because remember, New England was high on him when they had Cam Newton. They was high as hell on Mac Jones. Like, yes, he had one bad season. They get rid of his ass.
Hey man, he didn't just have a bad season. He stuck the joint up, man.
But the team was bad. The whole team was bad.
Yo, man. So you know what? When you're looking for at least one beacon of light in a soup of doo-doo, if it's not your quarterback, they say, "Hey, man, it's your fault." Josh Allen, okay. Edge rushers. Oh, okay. So listen, we had Tennessee, Mason Rudolph, man. Okay, journeyman. I don't see anything here. Let me just keep going down so we don't keep going. Okay, the West, the Broncos. I don't see anything that jumps out at me here. Okay, Kansas City, Carson Wentz. Man, if anybody was a bust, it was him.
Yeah, he won't play at all.
No. Yeah, he ain't getting on it. He's like, okay, Gardner Minshew.
It's a bad deal. That's a bad deal. I'm telling you, he ain't really
Yeah,
been.
okay, but now who's their starting? Their starting quarterback is the guy from the Browns, right?
They let Garoppolo go, so
Oh, they let Garofalo go. Okay,
yeah,
so Minshew's coming in to be the starter.
man, that's why they should have got Justin Fields. That would have been a good place for him.
Man. Okay, all right. All right, so I'm looking at this one. We're at the Los Angeles Chargers. All right. Okay, we're in the East now.
Yeah. You see where Zeke might go back to the Cowboys.
So they're talking about that. I haven't. Okay.
Yeah, it could be a possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is he washed up or not?
No, man, he ain't washed up, man.
But he's not the Zeke. Oh, listen. You know, he's a classic player who got a lot of money early, and I think he stopped working on the game. I think he went to the mountaintop, had the girls, got the food, got to this, got to that, and I think his passion for the game isn't there because he should have had more years as a great running back than he did. That's my assessment.
That's the goal, Arcane. That's the goal. Get your money early and cruise.
Yeah, as a running back, when you get your money early, that's good. But some guys keep the passion and the money. So that's why I'm disappointed in him. Okay, Will Greer for Philly. Okay, none of these guys are playing. Saquon Barkley, that's the big one there.
Devontae Parker, that's a good pick.
Devontae Parker is a good one there. So Philly's going to be good again. We already know that. Okay, Washington.
Mariota's a scrub.
Yeah, he always can. See, when you're just a little bit above scrub, you can stay in the NFL a little bit. Especially as a backup. Yeah, Austin Eckler, he can play. Jamison Crowder. Yeah, okay. Let's keep going. Is that Ertz? They kept
up Bobby Wagner too.
So what?
I said they picked up Bobby Wagner too. That's a good pickup on defense.
There you go. The North. Hey, is this guy related to Mark Rippon?
I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything in regards to that though.
Okay.
I haven't heard anything.
Go
ahead, Dre.
Is it spelled the same way? It's spelled
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I've ever heard anything yet.
Yeah. So far, Chicago look good on off. With their offensive pickups though. If they get their quarterback and he hands out to what they expect.
Are they going to be able to get him to take his dress off?
Hey, they don't have to. The fans will take it out for him. He get out there and sneak up the joint. Believe me, Chicago is rough on the players.
Is he gonna have his dress on and his pink phone and his fingernails painted and shit? He's gonna get in the huddle and say, Rainbow Six. Rainbow Six.
Come on, man. Come on.
Pride Month 8, Rainbow Six. Oh my God. Well, I don't know, man. Detroit was good last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I expect them to return, man. I think they just were trying to fill some holes there. AJ Dillon. For Green Bay, the quarterback showed last year. I expect him to get better.
Now, see, this is probably the weakest pickup in quarterback of all the teams. Sam Donald, look at that. I mean, I don't even understand them picking him up. They could have went out to somebody else. Sam Donald, he's always going to. Minnesota probably win 6 games.
Yeah, they went downhill. Let me tell you, they just couldn't meet the demands of paying the journeyman quarterback that left. Kirk
Cousins, he was going with the money. It don't matter. He's going with the money.
We said this before. Kirk Cousins' agent has to be the best in the NFL. He's made more money as a journeyman quarterback than anybody in the history of the NFL.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't think it's even. I only think it's close. The only other guy in the position is Terrell Revis. Revis. He milked the NFL real good as a defensive player.
That's what you're supposed to do, Arpan.
No, I'm with you. I'm not knocking him, but usually, they beat the owners beat you out, but for some reason he made good on his threats. Okay. The Panthers, nothing really jumping out at me. A couple of decent receivers.
They got Clowney.
Okay, so they got Clowney, huh? There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now he's a journeyman guy. He went with the money too. So okay, good for him. New Orleans Saints.
Peterman, come on, man.
Hey, listen, man. At least they had a movie made that he was a headliner in the movie. Or was that Peterman in that disaster movie? QB Baker Mayfield. Okay, there he is. He's in Tampa Bay. They re-signed him. I think that's a good re-signing. They got Evans. That was a good re-signing. Mm-hmm. Chase Edmonds. Oh, you know what? They're going to be competitive again. The West. Desmond Ritter, that's the young boy. He looked pretty good, man. What does that mean for the short guy?
That Desmond Ritter gonna be a hell of a backup. That's all it means. He gonna be the starter. and if they get Marvin Harrison Jr., then shit, just throw the ball up there. You ain't gonna do a lot.
All right, the Rams. There's Garoppolo right there.
Good backup.
Well, Demarcus Robinson, San Francisco, Brandon Allen, Joshua Dobbs, Chris Conley. Okay, Devonta. Sam Howell. I'm not very familiar with him. Nothing really jumping out there. All right, so that's it, man. I just wanted to kind of go through that and see what we have going on there. Anybody in the background? Let's see. Is that you? Okay, I got you, Trey Ferg. Let me stop sharing that. Start sharing this. All right, so what's next, gentlemen? We spent a little bit of time on that. I wanted to kind of make sure that we hit that. So the mock draft, we don't have to go through that because it's going to keep getting impacted all the way up onto the draft. I wanted to get to something that the first 5 players are still the first 5 players, but I think I found a better website to show. But we can get back to it. So NBA talk, just to move on. Okay. Zion Williamson and the $200 million man and a thought pocket magnet.
Regular guy. I've only 3 regular guys since I've been Instagram famous because a lot of y'all run your fucking mouths too much. I want to be sending you a video 1 minute, the next minute I see me spreading all the timeline, playing with my
that chances are if you mess with a star, it's going to be public. I don't call Jimmy Garoppolo Jimmy for nothing. The man went to a damn restaurant in Melrose. Right there at Beverly Hills. What a star. Clearly you wanted everybody to know you star Jimmy.
Same for Shaquille O'Neal. The man went to a restaurant right there in Beverly Hills with a known thought bucket. Clearly you want everybody to know you got Shaquille O'Neal.
You're never going to be the nice woman. Especially in basketball. You're not going to find a player. You're not going to find your mom or mom and dad. Because here's the thing. If you're in this profession, which you got all this fame and notoriety, how are you going to meet a good girl? You're not, because what you're going to meet her in the restaurant where you eat, or you're going to go to a club where you dance, or you're going to meet her at the arena. So I hate to tell you, you're going to meet her. Just how it goes, son. And the first thing they're going to say, oh, I didn't know you did that, man, with the Googling and all this. Oh, yes, they do. They know about you before you even get there. So, son, that's the bad part of the life you're going to get. is you're never gonna meet a good woman. By the time you do, let's say you get 30, and then you meet a woman and she's 30. You got to wonder why she by herself at 30. So there's something that's dangerous. No matter how good they look. What's you through here? I'm telling you. Oh Lord. Hey, a lot of them look good and man, but they got different motives and hey. I tell them to be careful out there, man, but you never gonna know what you get.
In my experience, the worst people to deal with are the athletes. None of them use condoms, really. So if y'all really want to try to come up off a check off a man, I mean, you could just, they're really done.
Another athlete caught in some goofy relationship with these thought pockets.
Okay, before we go on, I will hit that. I will hit it back. That's one of the best intros to how stupid these guys are. And my man Ball, man, he was telling it like it is. Any comments on my man Daddy Ball, what he was saying? He was absolutely right.
I mean, he's just protecting his son, you know, but he can't control his son.
He ain't protecting him. He's saying there's nothing he could do about it.
Right, ain't nothing you can do. You can say whatever you're gonna say, but once they throw that hoo-ha on you, all that shit out the door. You see it every day. Guys talk that shit. As soon as they see that cootie cat in their face, they take it.
Yep.
The only problem is they seem to commit to it too soon.
Well, when you mean by okay, so we're gonna get into this a couple more minutes, specifically looking at the big dude, the big dummy. Okay, so the big dummy, they really get into some details that I didn't know about, but I'm gonna go ahead and continue.
Zion Williamson for the New Orleans Pelicans is the latest in the news. He's so proud that he got a 30-year-old scamming ex-stripper baby mama pregnant. He posted up cheesing at a gender reveal party. While she's giving, she just trapped a sucker stump and he don't even know it.
Baby, you know, see this at some point. You know what the future holds. I mean that. You know, not next to this girl.
He's such an asshole.
No, it's very sad. It's embarrassing. This guy's only 22 years old. Got this decent thought pocket pregnant. Her name is Akima. She's got a child from another man, and she's been accused of promoting all kinds of scams on social media. Basically, just getting at how she lives, scamming up these guys too. And she's found her a new sucker in Zion. I keep wondering, where are these young guys getting this from? Then I look up to see Shaquille O'Neal is caught by paparazzi in Beverly Hills, seemingly on a dinner date with none other than the Corinne Stephens of this generation. That will be Brittany Renner. Who's teaching these younger guys? I'm assuming nobody, because Shaq is supposed to be the OG and he's slipping too. Now, he's not silly enough to get them pregnant, but sharing a dinner with these 304s and who knows what else, well, that's bad enough. It's the optics of it all, taking these flamingos in public. If Brittany Renner's role model was Corinne Stephens, and you got Shaq leading the way for young players like Zion, all I see is another 2 decades of debauchery. That's what's in store. If Zion getting this trap queen pregnant wasn't bad enough, when the news came out that the woman was pregnant, Mariah Mills, another adult worker, she went on social media to call Zion out, saying that he was talking to her too. She missed her cycle, told everybody that she let him have relations with no protection, and he better hope that she's not pregnant too. Mariah turned into a motor mouth and told it all. She said, I was with you last week in New Orleans, and you couldn't tell me that you had a random thought pregnant after all I've done for you, Zion Williamson. She said she let him have relations so many times without protection and said, this is what you do to me, a hood rat that does CPN. That's credit privacy numbers. It was funny to me how the hood rat was calling another hood rat a hood rat. But Mariah said that Zion was putting her life in danger by messing with all of these women unprotected. I'm not even going to repeat the other things she said that she let him do, which is all disgusting. She questioned him on how it was going to work, then moving both of them to New Orleans. She even put up these screenshots where he was asking how much he had to pay her every month when she moved to New Orleans. Mariah is 31 years old. The baby mama is 30. And now you have these two thought buckets going off each other, fighting over a 22-year-old. And we all know why. It's money. Both of them are supposedly adult workers. Mariah calls herself a real peace star, and she calls Akima a low-budget one.
All right. Okay. How many different How many different derogatory terms did this sister call these women? I mean, she used everything in the inventory. Thought buckets, hood rats, oh my God. How can a brother? Go ahead.
No, the only thing I say that the whole thing, I didn't have a problem with Shaq with that chick.
Wait,
I was an issue. You know what I mean? So what? Yeah,
no, it's just a visual because everybody know where she's coming from. She made it known where she's coming from.
Yeah.
But it's just she just used that before for thought. I mean, for Shaq being seen with a woman who has a known reputation. And I guess. Yeah, I think that was all it is. You know what? Shaq probably didn't even do nothing with her that night. I'm serious. He probably didn't. He probably just took her out. You know, because she's been around and a lot of people know her shtick. Yeah. So she's like a likable thought. You know, a lot of people kind of like her a little bit. But anyhow,
if Shaq did it now, he ain't gonna get her pregnant. That's for sure.
Well, obviously she ain't coming back saying she got a baby. Yeah. But Zion Williams, I mean, I thought this was so. I didn't know the chick that he got pregnant had that kind of history, but he's completely oblivious to what's going to happen to him. I mean, he's completely clueless as to what's going to happen to him. They're both of these chicks, the one chick is speaking out loud because she's mad because she didn't get pregnant. And so she don't have no real hold on him without the pregnancy. So she's saying all this stuff. She got kicked off of Twitter and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, you got any comments there, Trey Ferg? No, he's probably doing something. But anyway, all I can say, man, it's just wow. I just thought I'd just throw that up there for a little comic relief and how these guys are moving, man. And it's not just him, it's all of these guys. Okay. My next thing is Victor Wembanyama. Stats and highlights. I think he's going to be I don't know if it's rare, but he's going to be a unanimous Rookie of the Year. I don't see anybody else beating him out for that.
Wemby thinks is up. Oh, wow. You know that feels good for Wemby in fact in some form or fashion. And Wemby right here playing his first bully ball. Now he gives it back to Victor. He fires. He scores. Oh, that's a good sign. A team that is depleted. We're being told 26 feet, so maybe not as far as the consistency that he still performs at. Wemby. Oh! Beautiful pull-through on this pull-through. Absorbs the contact there, doesn't lose it, and just extends right over the top of the defense. Bring the ball down here for Chris Paul. Even when we get good shots, we can't give the ball. Stay with you.
All right, so let me stop that one. Listen, you know, one of the things I found out about this guy, right, when he was coming into the league, he looked real frail and skinny. He's stronger than these people. He doesn't get pushed around the way people thought he would. He's stronger to the hoop, playing defense. He might even get a nod as Defensive Player of the Year. You know,
think about it. He doesn't live in America. He ain't overweight and fat like we are. Outside of the United States, they eat healthier. And just because he's slim doesn't mean he's weak. And he's been playing professional ball for years. He's been playing professional ball for years, so he knows how to plant and solidify his body and post up. He knows those things. He's been doing that shit the last 8-9 years since
But he's still got to put a little bit more muscle on out there. Well, he's
not really. Maybe about 20 pounds. About 20 pounds.
I mean, that's a natural. I'm talking about natural. Since he's young, he's going to get a little bit heavier. He's going to be real dangerous. I mean, the guy is going. They're really the only reason why he might not win Defensive Player of the Year is because he's a rookie.
That's it. But he still could win it though.
Yeah, but the politics of the damn NBA, man, somehow might because he's going to be unanimous rookie of the year. I don't see how anybody's going to come in second. I mean, compete for that, right?
No, he got that locked up. Shit, he had that locked up when he first walked on the court. He had that shit locked up. He has more skills than almost any center that's ever played the game. Outside of Jokic, but shit, he a rookie. Jokic wasn't nowhere near him as a rookie.
Yeah. So the thing I was just thinking about the defense, right? You can't say that. Okay, the fact that he could shoot from outside makes him so dangerous because no matter where he's at on the court, he's a threat to score.
Yep.
And if you come out on him, he's got the skills to get by you on a dribble or step, and then on defense, you can't sleep on a dude, man. He's not like just lanky like Ralph Sampson, and he couldn't really play good defense.
Charles Beck is backstage.
Oh, is he? Thank you, sir. Let me, I'll bring him up. All right, man.
Hey, gentlemen.
Yeah, what's going on, Charles, man? What happened to you, man? You were here?
My phone got cut off. And I was charging it. Then I got a phone call, and time just flew by, man. but I've been backstage for the past 10 minutes or so.
Hey, well, we over here.
Brother Payne is old, man. He can't really see it. If you don't remind him, he ain't gonna see it.
Exactly. I'm over here. I rely on these guys to tell me. So if you were back there for 10 minutes, it's all their fault.
Well, I got it.
You know what I'm saying? It's all their fault, brother. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry for the guys who remember.
I got it. You talk about Zion. You got caught up.
Yeah, man. So, you got any questions on the Zion thing?
Nah, I think like I said, I think he just got cut up, man. He's weak. I mean,
man, guys don't just get caught. Guys don't just get caught up. Okay,
sure the hell don't.
I mean, he knows what he's doing. Of course, I'm just.
No, but let me. Can I paint a scenario for you real quick? Say you're a teenager, right? And you have most teenage males have these fantasies about these voluptuous girls, like these chicks that he has. You don't got no money. You might not, even though you might be a basketball star. You probably before you get the money, you're just dealing with young girls your own age. You're getting sex, but you're not getting them from the kind of women you want. So all of a sudden now you're 21, 22, and you got millions of dollars, and you could pay to make your fantasies come true. That's all I could think it is, man. Because as a teenager, go ahead.
I'm sorry about that.
As a teenager, I can see these guys doing all kinds of unmentionables to these women's pictures and their videos. And then now when you could afford it and you can get it for real, there it is.
I bet you saying they over. I mean, listen. Yeah, I would hate to say that they going to that extreme with some pictures. Hell, because I know when Jet Magazine came out with their little issue and them girls and them little baby cities, like, oh yeah, but
listen, man, any healthy male in their teenage years, they've been doing some unmentionables to pictures and movies. You know what I'm saying? This is honest. And if and now that you could pay for it, you don't have to have the fantasy. You can make it real. That's what I think these guys are doing.
But I think here's the thing that I don't understand about, and not just, the younger guys like Zion and the other guy from Houston. Why would you put them? It's almost like you taking a chance on your whole career in getting with people whose reputation and lifestyle is not worthy of being a wife, and who pretty much already ran through rosters.
But they're not worried about marrying these chicks, man.
But that's the crazy part. You rather have a child with women who are not qualified to be a wife
Or
And then
mothers.
you'll come back and complain and cry about how fucked up women are. It makes no sense. Why would you do that? Get you a fucking single. It would be easy for him to get his high school sweetheart, 21, 22. We have a baby together. And it's like, it's low level shit.
Well, you gotta give the guy some grace because the young women don't want to get married either.
I don't give him no damn grace. He could have had a baby by a young woman too. Same thing. He could have had a baby.
Or you can use protection or have a baby by nobody.
There you go.
That's what I said. So anybody, listen, before we move on, anybody else, so we talked about Victor. He's going to be Rookie of the Year. He might even get Defensive Player of the Year. So now what I always have my comparison charts here. And, Dame Lillard every so often chimes in to say he's as good of a shooter as Steph Curry. And, so I just say, okay, let me compare the two. And because they've both been in the league more than 12 years. And, of course, when we talk about championships, of course, Dame falls short by staying in Portland so long. But, so if you look at the games played, not the games, the minutes and the points, the rebounds, the assists, the field goal percentage, but the thing that surprises me is that Dame Lillard's 3-point percentage is lower than I thought it would be. Because they like to show highlights of him banging them, man. But he's only he's not even in the 40s.
Yeah. He just became that type of 3-point shooter over the last 5 years.
And the one I have for Steph Curry is 43.5%, not 53. So that's a mistake. If he was 53, forget it. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's 43.5%. So, but I'm just saying it's a good comparison because Dame is a good shooter, but he hasn't. His resume is Hall of Fame resume. There's no doubt about it. But he's not in. He might not be in. He's not going to be in the same room as the Steph Curry who changed the game.
Not at all.
Any comments? Anybody?
No comment.
He claimed he was.
I didn't know it was that low. That's pretty low.
What you mean? His 3 points?
Yeah, I didn't think it was that low.
Yeah, me either. Of course, I got it from the stat sheet, so I looked it up. So I was shocked. I said, man, but remember now he's on Portland, so he probably took a whole lot more of those shots because he was the only player on the team shooting.
Yeah.
He didn't have that thing. He had his boy who they traded to New Orleans, McCollum. But, essentially he had to carry the team all the time. So he probably took a whole lot more shots than Steph. Steph took a lot of shots too, but his shots were more strategic within the game structure because he had help.
Yeah, I think with them, he hits them at the end of the game, like game winners or tied, I think it's the timing too, So that's why it's Dame time. So he's clutch. So that's probably why he's well known as a 3-point shooter. But in the 30s, it's not that great though as a 3-point shooter.
No, I was
It's about average. 37% is about average. Most players shoot in the 30s. So special.
But he damn sure does hit a lot of clutch ones. So I give him that.
Yeah.
But in an average regular shooting, that's kind of low. So again, here's the power rankings. Denver popped. I don't know why they put Denver in front of the Celtics, but they're neck and neck in power rankings. But again, the Celtics are going to have the home court advantage throughout the playoffs as long as they don't get eliminated. But if you look at I'm going to get to the West standards. But these guys will keep swapping positions because it's so close. Some of these teams are so close together. You get a 2 or 3 game winning streak, 2 or 3 game losing streak. You're dropping 2 or 3 positions.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it's close. I mean, it's like a 3-way tie. Not like a 3-way tie. It's almost a 3-way tie for the first place in the West. The Nuggets, the OKC, and if you look at their records, 52-23. Denver's by half game at 53-23. So they got a game in hand. So it's almost like a 3-way tie for the first place to the third place. That's tight. That's really tight for this time in the season.
Yeah.
So that makes some good basketball. So here's the standings, and you can see it for yourself. It looks like the Warriors are solidifying, at least staying in the chance for the play-in. They got a 3-game in the loss column against the Rockets. So it's going to be tough for the Rockets to make up those 3 games with the games remaining against Golden State, unless they really fall on hard times. And the Hawks are the same way over the Nets. It's got a 7-game in a loss column lead. So I think we're pretty much seeing that the 6 through 10, 7 through 10 is pretty much set almost.
Yeah, I think, especially in the East, I think it's pretty much set. There's no way. It's only about 7 games left, so also have to lose out. But as far as the West, you never know, boys. Rockets are playing good ball. They just lost their first game out of 10, so 3-game winning streak. It's possible. It's possible. Yeah. I don't know if they schedule it, but it's possible.
Yeah, we got to look at the schedules there. I mean, but of course, 6 and 7 is really tight. So those positions, 8, 7, and 6, those things could swap easily. They're real close. But so we're coming down to the end, man. To where the real season begins, playoff.
What do you think with Embiid coming back? How do you think the Sixers would fare, probably moving up a spot or 2 now that Embiid is back?
Well, doesn't it depend on how well he fits back into the offense?
Well, they won the other day, and he's a big man that they didn't have. He is a staple in the offense, so I think he had. So
you think it'll be like kind of seamless? He'll pop back in his normal rotation?
I mean, he's in the rotation. He's going to start. If he's healthy,
no. What I'm saying, he is going to start. But how many games they played without him? And they held serve. They at least held serve without him.
But now that he's back, I think you got to look at it. It's 25, 27 points needed.
Okay, you're saying he's going to immediately have a positive impact.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. I won't argue that.
Shake it up. The Heat better look out, because if they lose, and I'll tell you, I'll say the Heat through the Knicks, Sixers can move up. Possibly.
Yeah. So all that's in play. So like I said, it's heating up, man. NBA's heating up at the end, man, which is it should. All right, so we don't have to go through the injury report. March Madness, real quick. The girls, okay, man. Iowa and UConn, North Carolina and North Carolina State. Well, South Carolina and North Carolina State. So what we got? Who got some ideas on this? I think Iowa's going to make it again.
Oh, you do? Okay.
You got UConn?
No, I don't know, man. I mean, it's gonna be tough.
Hey, man, did you? Okay, let me start it. Let me read it. Did you see Iowa against USC? Did you guys see that? Not you. I mean, against LSU. Did you guys see that game?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
Man,
LSU got cold. They got cold, man. They got cold. Man.
She was hitting some shots, man. She was Steph Curry in their asses, man.
Yeah.
She was launching those threes.
Yeah.
Yeah, my man, he has another show he got to hit up at 8. But anyway, so I got the listen, the UConn is tough too, man, of course. And they got a chance of UConn getting to the finals again, just like the men's team. Remember UConn men and women won the championship the same year?
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
They have a chance to do that again this year.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, they have a chance to do that this year. So does North Carolina State. They didn't do it. They never did it before, but they got a chance to do it this year.
Yeah.
Because in the men's bracket, North Carolina State is doing good too. So this is the men's bracket.
Yep.
UConn and Alabama is better than I thought they would be. And of course, you have North Carolina State against Purdue. Is that Purdue? Yeah. So anyhow, man, I haven't watched a lot of the tournaments, but I've been honing in now that it's all for real.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. So at least we got some sports to look forward to.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So other banter. Hey, Charles, you still there? You got anything?
I'm here. No, nothing. I got
All
nothing
right.
to say.
So
Yeah.
LSU women's team boycotts the national anthem. I put a question mark there because they say it was their normal routine to not come out for the anthem, which I don't care whether they do or not. So there's a fallout. The governor wants to take their scholarships in the future.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into the show.
Do you remember her, Dre?
Arnold. Thanks for being here today on this Wednesday.
Oh, you don't remember
Now,
Arnold?
obviously, we've been talking all week.
She filled in for First Take a couple of times, I think.
March Madness.
I remember her. Yeah, Charlie Arnold. Yeah, I remember her. Yeah.
Date and time.
Yeah, I remember her.
Which the main storylines has been the LSU
Oh,
Iowa.
that's where she is now.
A lot of people talking about Caitlyn Clark, which we will specifically talk about Caitlyn Clark in just a second. But one of the other things that people just cannot stop talking about, and for good reason in a lot of senses, is the fact that LSU was not on the court during the national anthem leading up to the game. Now, a lot of people have an issue with this because obviously it's seen as very highly disrespectful, right? You don't have the decency to be out there and respect the flag, respect our country leading up to the game. And obviously this game being on such a massive stage, you would think that LSU would be out there, as Iowa was out there with all of their arms linked, showing respect for the USA leading up to this Elite Eight game. But LSU was not on the floor. A lot of people were wondering why. Our Dan Krzyzewski, after the game, asked Kim Mulkey in the press conference why the team was not out on the floor. To which she responded that they have a certain routine. It's about a 12-minute span. They do a prayer, they do some strategy planning, and it just coincided with the national anthem time. At that same time, there was a national reporter who also covers LSU on a regular basis who came forward and said, in LSU's defense, they are very rarely on the floor during the national anthem. So a lot of people were thinking, okay, like, should we let this slide or should we not? There was literally two very divided opinions as far as this was concerned. But when Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry caught wind of all that was happening, he was absolutely outraged. He actually sent out a tweet yesterday saying this, quote, "My mother coached women's high school basketball during the height of desegregation. No one has a greater respect for the sport and for Coach Mulkey. However, above respect for that game is a deeper respect for those that serve to protect us and unite us under one flag. It is time that all college boards, including Regent, put a policy in place that student athletes be present for the national anthem or risk their athletic scholarships. This is a matter of respect that all collegiate coaches should instill." Okay, so this obviously came out. A lot of people in agreement with Governor Landry, and it does make sense. I think that.
Okay, before she goes on, you guys tell me, do you agree with the governor or not?
That
he should take the scholarships if you don't come out for the national anthem.
Oh, no, I don't agree with that. No,
I don't think they should take away the scholarship for that.
Yeah,
I think they earned it, academically.
Yeah.
Right. So she's going to ramble a little bit more, but we don't have to listen to it because the real issue comes down to the governor could feel any way he wants.
Mm-hmm.
But if you start punishing people by taking away something they've earned because they don't do something you think they should do, that's, first of all, that's unconstitutional. Now, you can't mandate somebody be present for. Now, these are private enterprises, and of course, the scholarships are a privilege. They're not a right. So if they give it to you, they could probably take it away. But this should be a court battle because if the point is that they can give you a scholarship and they can take it away unless you do what I say, I think that's a slippery slope, and it's worthy of being adjudicated in the courts. On the surface, the governor might have a point in terms of the power they could wield over the individual. Like when you go to a certain school, they could, if you want to be in that school, they can make you wear a uniform, whether you want to or not, right? If you want to be here, you got to put on the uniform, and if you don't want to, so I don't like those kind of mandates. And now that I think about it, I'm talking through it. I don't think the players will have a leg to stand on. They could take it to court, but I don't think they'd win. And it'd be interesting to see what the Supreme Court would say about that. I mean, that's just the way I see it. Now, I don't think anybody should be made to do anything for the national anthem unless they want to. But, it's a private enterprise. You got a privileged scholarship. I give it to you. I could take that shit away. So now what? What do you think? Does that make sense or not make sense? Or do they have the governor has a leg to stand on?
Yeah.
No. Anybody?
I still don't think so. But
okay.
Yeah.
Charles?
Yeah, I don't think it's right. I don't think he does. She.
Okay.
Yeah, they shouldn't take away. Shouldn't even be considered.
Yeah.
All right. So listen, I only got a couple more charts left. Anyway, so listen, I know you guys a lot of people ain't into boxing, but it's heating up, man. There's a cadre of fighters that are starting to fight each other. And I think the next couple of years in boxing are going to be pretty exciting. If they actually
pound for pound.
And with Virgil Ortiz, first and foremost, I spoke to you briefly. How did you celebrate his birthday yesterday?
I went to the gym.
I was a true fighter, right?
Yeah, I went to the gym and I came back home, had some good steak for lunch, went right back to the gym.
So let me stop. This guy, if you ever get a chance, you could just go on YouTube and put Virgil Ortiz in. He's 20-0, I think 20 knockouts.
Mm-hmm.
If you put him in now, they want to set up a fight between him and Crawford at 154 pounds. But if you see his fights, man, this dude is bad, man. He's a bad man. And his whole stick is body shots. He's put down half of those guys by body shots. I mean, devastating liver shots, solar plexus, whatever, man. This dude is something else, man. When he throws those punches, man, you could tell they count.
I did some conditioning. I was that tired. Went to do some recovery. Went back home. I rested. Had some cake. And I went to sleep.
What kind of cake?
It was the tres leches.
That's gonna work out a cake.
And talk about being active this year. How many more times do you want to fight this year? You're already on your second.
Including this one, 3 more times.
So 5 times.
No, including this one.
Okay.
3 more. So which would be 4.
Okay.
So yeah, I want to stay active. That's really the only thing that was missing these last few years. Even fighting twice a year, like in 20, but it's a really good fight. That's a fighter like.
We'll get to Oscar.
It's going to be probably the boxer, but
first 2 world titles. What do you think about that?
Look at Oscar.
Right, if he beats obviously Quinn this Saturday.
But he should beat him.
Yeah,
right.
That's a good fight, though, right?
Wow, he looks different.
I think
he's a little older. He's got the he's got the beard going on.
I'm gonna tell you again.
Yeah.
If any fight is listening, you got to stay active. Like Virgil wants to fight. Virgil's gonna fight 4 times this year because he wants to. So as a promoter, it's saying you got to facilitate that. And
see, the whole key of why I'm showing this is that one of the big problems with boxing is the guys are looking for the big paydays and they don't stay active. A good fighter, sometimes they don't fight but once every 2 years or every 18 months. And so you lose whatever bubble, that you create. So this guy, Virgil, he's already gone on his way to superstardom, but he wants to be in the ring to fight for legacy, not just for every dollar bill. Now, down the road, he might get more strategic to have bigger paydays and wait for certain opponents. But like Crawford doesn't want to fight anybody unless he gets a big fight to fight. And people are saying, wait a minute, man, that's not how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
So he wants to fight Canelo, and Canelo's like a big, at least 15 pounds heavier than him. And he think he could draw a big payday so he can go into the sunset. But Canelo said, it's nothing for me to fight you. You don't bring the money. I'm bringing all the money. So go ahead and build yourself up. But go ahead.
No. I ain't
That's where the boxing game is at. It's starting to percolate, and I've been, close enough to it to see some things happening. And so the whole purpose of showing these two guys, De La Hoya manages that guy Ortiz, or he promotes that guy Ortiz. Let me put it to you that way. And that's what he's trying to say. Listen, get in the ring. He told, like the title says, he wants to Crawford to fight for legacy and not just for a big payday every time. Get in there and fight people. And then the legacy will take care of itself. But Crawford just wants the money, man. He don't want to hear none of that shit.
Yeah, okay. I don't blame him.
No, yeah, but you know what? I think there's a balance, because every time he steps in the ring, he's going to make a few $1 million. It's not like he wants to make $20-30 million a fight, but then he loses the bubble the longer he stays out of the ring.
Yeah.
But if you could fight 3 times a year, that's still a few $1 million that year. And then if you win those fights, then people have to come to you for the big payday. All right, so this is the last one. The white dude strikes back. What say you, black man? And this is me talking to you after y'all see this clip. Why so serious? So many people are having issues with the white girl, Caitlyn Clark. And, it's clear that she is the big, bright star of basketball right now, right? From Ice Cube offering her $5 million to play in the Big Three. Mm-hmm. And only her top salary in the WNBA next year will be $76,000. Now, she's going to get endorsements off the field up to Kadu. She already has endorsements, like over $1 million worth of endorsements. Right. So I'm thinking, if she wants to make history, she should take Ice Cube up on his offer. And I think that will change the game for all of women in basketball, if she did.
Mm-hmm. Now, I can hear the American crowd going, see, how do you like it? Hey, good. That's fine. You can do that. But the attack is just ridiculous. It's insane.
The African American crowd.
I'm sitting there as a white or black executive. I'm like, you know what? This is crap. This is complete crap. The latest is that dope smoking, hooker hanging, way drunk Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce got fired from ESPN because he's an idiot. He's an idiot. I mean, he posts a video on Instagram of him hanging with hookers, smoking weed, drinking out of a 40, and they fired him. He's like, what? I didn't break no law. It's my private time. And ESPN's like, yeah, well, that's not how we're hanging here. So where does he surface? He surfaces over here at Fox. But he's still the same dumbass. He's still the same racist. He's still the same moron with an 8th grade education that he's always been. So here's Paul, incredibly racist, and here's 2 idiots sitting with him, allowing him to be racist because, well, idiots hang together in groups of 3. Here's Paul Pierce talking about little white girl, Caitlyn Clark.
It's beyond that, Key. I'm gonna just keep it 100 with you. We saw a white girl in Iowa do it to a bunch of black girls. Well, of course, that made it like, oh, and that gave my respect. That gave my respect.
I hear you.
That's like, oh, she didn't do this to some other little white girls that was over here in Colorado, wherever. She did it to some girls from LSU who we thought were some dogs.
Defending champs,
and put them on their knee and spanked them. And so that is, I know, but I didn't expect.
There you go. I was going to kick out of that. I was a white dude that kicked every brother's ass in Gary, Indiana over the course of 2 years. I used to laugh. Oh, man, you got my respect. I used to say, well, You don't have mine. Because all I know is I get a shot fake. Your ass goes, I go lay it in. I mean, what are we talking about here? That's the way basketball has evolved, right? The African American is here, and the white guy's got to prove it to him. I got 2 words for you. My ass. You got nothing. I mean, sports is supposed to be the ultimate meritocracy. It's supposed to be the ultimate color blind. Well, that's all we get out of these former idiots, particularly former NBA and NFL idiots. And if I were Eric Shanks or Brad Yeager, I'd fire his ass tomorrow. At what point do we say enough? At what point do we say these attack on white people, this ability to just say whatever the hell you want as an African American about white people has gone far enough?
All right.
So, Colorado actually had some black girls.
Oh, God.
So Caitlyn Clark has to prove to these 3 stooges that.
Okay.
I don't know.
Listen, you know what? I don't, first of all, I know. Go ahead. Say what you're going to say.
No, I think, I don't see it as like, they like, like they were trying to bash her. Paul Pierce.
No,
I don't think his way was bash, just not. I mean,
first of all, I see this guy. I've listened to this guy before. Of course, he's all pro, everything. He's just as bad as some black people when they hear, somebody white say something. But I didn't think in that instance, it was just the language that Paul Pierce used, right? Here's your big dogs from the black women, and you let the little white girl beat you up. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't like the reference to this little white girl.
Oh, I see. Little.
So he didn't like that reference. The little white girl beats you up, which I found funny, man.
At the end of the day, man, she can shoot.
She can shoot. She can shoot.
She can do it at the end of the day.
There's no doubt about
That's what
that.
that matters, Yep.
Yeah, she is very good, man. She is very good. Okay, what am I doing here? Anyway, so listen, this is the boxing schedule. I saw this fight, Tim Tszyu against Fedora. These guys are like 154. Fedora is like 6 feet tall, and the guy he fought was like maybe 5'7". Yeah, and so Fedora won the fight, but it was a unanimous decision. But the guy Tszyu was supposed to be pretty good, but he could barely get to the guy. Man, the guy was keeping him on the edge of the jab, and he got cut on the top of his head, so he's bleeding profusely all fight long. So it was interesting. So boxing is coming back. There's some good fights coming up, and I'm staying ahead of that. That's me. So any gentlemen, any parting thoughts?
Well, speaking of boxing, what do you think about Iron Mike and Jake Paul?
I think
is that a joke?
No, I don't think it's a joke.
No,
I don't look at it as a joke. I just look at it. The fact is that I think that man, my mouse is acting up. I think that is a good. Iron Mike is practicing. Paul was a journeyman fighter. Iron Mike is practicing, and I just think that
Yeah, but Rich, a 57-year-old should never be in the ring with a 20.
No, man, well, that's not true. When we're talking about. Oh, can you guys still see me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fooling around with this thing, man. My mouse is acting up.
Okay.
But go ahead, keep talking.
I'm just saying, too much of an age gap, man. Boxing, I don't know. It's, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense putting a 57-year-old against a 20-something-year-old. That makes no sense.
Well, I hear you, but it's a fight. Look, I've been seeing Mike Tyson practice. This guy might be younger, but Mike Tyson, if he hits him, he's gonna knock him out. That's the same thing when George Foreman, he wasn't as old as Mike, but when he came back and fought Michael Moore, he had a good 15 years on him. And then he knocked him out. With that one right, or I think it was a right or whatever. He knocked him out cold. Yeah. It was in the later rounds too. So I mean, I'm looking forward to the fight. It's going to be a big payday. Mike Tyson. Yeah, well, that's what it's all about.
This is Mike might be making like 20 million out here.
Yeah.
I said, no wonder why he's coming back. He's making that money.
Hey, listen, if you ever get a chance to see him practice, which is still in the gym, but Mike Tyson looks real spry, man. Remember now, he's been pretty straight for a lot of years, I don't know if he's smoking any of the marijuana he owns. He might, but I don't know if that really matters. But he looks good. Now, Jake Paul is he's a journeyman fighter. He got some skills, but it ain't like he's fighting like a top flight, boxer.
Yeah.
Now, if this was the normal circuit, Jake Paul wouldn't be ranked more than 10th. I'm telling you. I think Mike Tyson's going to win.
Okay, we'll see.
I think he's going to win, man. I really do. And now it depends. See, here's the thing. Mike Tyson's chin has always been kind of suspect. He just never really got hit. But every time we saw him get hit by a good fighter, good boxer, we've seen him get put down a couple of times. So it's not like he has the best chin in the world. So there we go. So anything from you, Andre?
No, we'll see. I don't know. Should be interesting, but just exhibition, right? So
no, you know what? It's going to be a real fight. It's not going to be an exhibition.
That's why I said real fight.
It's a real fight. Yeah, it's a real fight. They ain't going in there to just bounce around. They're going to be trying to knock each other out.
Yeah, you ain't making 20 million out of an exhibition.
Absolutely not. Okay. Absolutely not. And so, that is absolutely true. Yeah. So listen, gentlemen, we're gonna end the stream here. And listen, if y'all can do me a favor, go to my page, man, and hit the like button on this thing. Listen, if you can go to my community tab and take a second and take the little poll that I have there.
Okay.
I'm trying to get more people to take that poll. And you're probably not on the page right now, but if you get on the page, you'll see the polls right there in the community tab.
Right.
I have a lot of variety in video, and I appreciate that if y'all can do that. Other than that, man, thanks for being on the swivel at the sports bar with your boy, man.
All right, buddy.
Man.
Have a good night.
Right.
Take care,
Have
guys.
a good night, man. I appreciate you guys coming over, man.
All right.
Good night,
Take care.
guys. Yep.
You too, buddy.
Take care.
Take care.
Yep.
Yep, later.
All right now. Bye.